Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's B. Aver here for another episode of Just My Opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. And right now, we are in the last episode, the final episode of Season 1, Episode 8, titled Redemption for Star Wars The Mandalorian. That's on Disney Plus. Now, I am combining episode 7 and 8 because I did not do a recap for 7, but I'm going to be talking about episode 8 for the most part. But I'm back, guys, and I really did love this episode because if you saw my recap for episodes 5 and 6, you pretty much know that I really just didn't care for those episodes, and I was kind of worried with where the series was going. But episode 7 came through. It was fire. I thought it was the best episode of the series at the time, and I think that this final conclusion for episode 8 for season 1 of The Mandalorian is even better than that. So out of all the episodes, and excuse me, I am a bit sick, so excuse me, I'm going to do my best. But of all the episodes, all 8 episodes, there's only been 2 that I really didn't care for, and that was episode 5 and episode 6. Episode 5 when they went back to Tatooine, and then episode 6 where they were in space. I believe they was in space, and they had the Mandalorian was with his old posse, and they threw him in the pod, in the cage, on that I forgot what it was called, but he was able to escape, and he ended up locking them in there. But all the other episodes I thought was fire. I thought 1 through 3 was great. I thought 4 was good too when we first saw Gina Carano pop up on the scene. And so 7 and 8, the things that just kind of wrap everything up, I just thought that was freaking amazing. But just getting to episode 8, it's called The Redemption. And episode 7 kind of left us on a cliffhanger, and starting out with this episode right here, I was laughing at the beginning when the stormtroopers, or they wasn't in that armor per se. I don't know the name because I'm a casual Star Wars fan. They was on the speed bikes, and they picked up Baby Yoda. Unfortunately, we found out that they did kill Quill or whatever, played by Nick Nolte, and I really did like his character. I Have Spoken. He's a great character. I wish he was still around, but at the end, the Mandalorian buried him, with his face mask or goggles. But at the end of episode 7, they left us on the cliffhanger. But this one, we see these two leaders with the Imperials, not leaders with the Imperials, but soldiers with the Imperial Army, cracking jokes, trying to, get some information like, hey, I just want to confirm if we can go into the city right now. We have the package, we have the headset, we're standing by right now. And the way that their banter back and forth kind of reminded me of like a red versus blue episode, like off of Halo, if you guys know that, where it's just pretty comical. And I mean, what I did like about it is we got some personality from the soldiers, from the stormtroopers, and in my opinion, that's something that we really never got before. And it was kind of funny. I didn't like the way they was punching Baby Yoda. I was like, oh no, leave Baby Yoda alone. He was like, I want to look at it. Well, you got more time to look at it than me, and I thought that was funny or whatever. But at the same time, that did kind of kill the tension, the cliffhanger that episode 7 left us on when they killed Quill and scooped up Baby Yoda, and then it just went to credits or whatever. But something that just really didn't make sense to me is, why didn't they just go ahead and go into the city? I don't know why they would need confirmation in the first place, and just kind of fast forwarding in the episode just a little bit, when Mr. Esposito, the guy from Breaking Bad, I loved him. He is looking like a boss coming through, just looking like Vader, and it's all black. Without the helmet or whatever. I love this character. That was very entertaining. He was trying to make a deal with the Mandalorian, Gina Carano's character, and Grief Kargas, just saying, hey, I'll give you till nightfall. I want to be able to negotiate, lay your weapons down, and come out and talk. But the Mandalorian were just kind of like, well, hey, I guess the Baby Yoda or the child got away safely, even though we can't hear from Quill, because we would have been dead by now. So what I understand is, if the guy is radioing the stormtroopers, the Imperial soldiers at the beginning of the episode are radioing in, saying that we have the asset, why wasn't that information given to what is it? Gideon, I think is his name in the episode. Gideon. Why was that information given to him? Like, oh, we got the asset. Let's just kill these people right here. That's really the only thing I really didn't care for in the episode. But other than that, I thought this was very clever, very written very well, directed well by Taika Waititi, who is of course the voice of the droid for I-9, and he came through as well, wrecking shop. Just killing everybody, taking names, and that was dope as hell. I just like his character. I like his mechanics and just the way he maneuvers around, with his blasters. And, at first I watched the episode twice, and first I was a little worried, like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you putting Baby Yoda in harm's way? You have him on the outside of the city safe. Nobody knows that. Why couldn't you just go back to the Mandalorian ship? You have this speeder bike and lock it in there, and then come through with the big gun blasting everybody away. I was just kind of thinking that, but it was still executed well. He was able to get in there and do some damage and save the Mandalorian, Grief Kargas, and Gina Cara Dune's character. That was cool, but it was like, okay, now you're trapped. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do like it. There was a lot of gun battles. It was nice. It was still, even though it may not have been like the smartest plan to me, it was still choreographed pretty well. And like I said, Gideon was coming through like a boss, man. He just one shot to the Mandalorian, and then he blew him up, and there was like an explosion. And and one of the things back, just go back a little bit with the Mandalorian story, when Grief Kargas was like, wait a minute, but you're a Mandalorian. He was like, I wasn't. No, he's like, I wasn't born on Mandalore. He's like, but you're a Mandalorian. And Cara Dune was like, but it's not a race. And he was like, it's a creed. And we got the backstory of how he was rescued from all the Mandalorians, And so these flashback scenes are something that I've always criticized, because for some reason they just didn't look as real as all the other shots in the episode. But I just never understood why the parents didn't get into that bunker as well. They didn't know that super droid was going to open it up and shoot their child or whatever. I just thought that should have got in there as well. But I thought it was really dope when the Mandalorians came through and they saved him, and he put his hand out and they got that shot on their hand, and they're coming together just like that bond, that trust that was created right there. That bass and that score by Ludwig Göransson came through right there. I thought that was phenomenal. And me being a casual Star Wars fan, me looking at this Mandalorian, well, not race, or this creed, this group of people, I really like them now. I guess like everybody, we always looked at them as the bad guys or the antagonists, but not anymore. They're just their own sect of people, own group of people, just doing their thing. While weapons, are their religion. And it was pretty dope, and it really just makes sense to why the Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, is just, really able, he's just down for his people, and, he's not going to break the code. And I respect that. And I think it's just another thing that's really entertaining in this show. I was, even though I really did enjoy Rise of Skywalker, I was still disappointed, but I am not disappointed, with the Mandalorian. And we also got some more force powers from Baby Yoda, the child, as well, but another thing is, what doesn't make sense to me is Gideon was like, he wants to capture the child, Baby Yoda. And he know that Baby Yoda is in the room now, and he tells one of his stormtroopers to burn him out. So you're going to try to burn Baby Yoda? I don't understand. Like, what are you doing, man? You're defeating your purpose. But it was cool how they put the camera right behind Baby Yoda's head and showed him kind of stand up and, use his force powers to block the fire back. That was dope as hell. And I love the way how when he uses his powers, he passes out, he faints, because, even though he's powerful, he's not that powerful, and it takes a lot out of him, because it has to be, it has to be some type of balance, because if there isn't, he can just go around doing force powers and choking people all day, so there is a price to pay, a cost to pay when he uses his, force powers, But another great thing I liked about the episode is when we go down into the sewers and then we see the leaders of the Mandalorian people, because at the end of episode 3, when they come through and they save Pedro Pascal's character, the Mandalorian, all of them come through, jump down, fly down with their jetpacks, just guns blazing or blasters blazing. Dope as hell. Love that scene. The one with the big Gatling gun, let's get out of here. We'll hold them off. Just that lovely epicness right there that we all know and love from just entertainment history since forever. So I love that. But we see all of their armor down and piled up and abandoned, and of course Mando is like, what's going on? Was you a part of this? And no, they was like, hey, we revealed ourselves, and we had to take off our armor and blend in and escape, and most of us got away, and we got to regroup, and we can't be running around with all of our armor when people are going to identify us, but they may not know what our faces look like. So that really made sense to me. But they're just so down with they're so down with everything as far as their creed and their culture and just their lineage and all that good stuff. And she just didn't want to abandon the post, and she still is trying to salvage everything. And I respect it. I mean, and she still may pop up somewhere, and she can fight too. She's just down there concentrating, meditating, and the stormtrooper hits her in the head, and she whoops the hell out of them, with her blacksmith tools and weaponry. And she even broke the face mask of one of them, the helmet, threw one of them in the burning blue fire. And I'm just like, man, that's what's up. I'm liking this right here. It's just another great episode right here. And even before that, I like the fact that we got to see Pedro Pascal's face. He was like, at first he was like, look, if you take it off, I'll kill you. I'm like, dude, you don't want, is it that serious, man? So where you're gonna die just so nobody can see your face? But just like IG9 said, just like, hey, I'm not a living creature, I'm a joy. So, you're not breaking, your rules or whatever. Everything will be okay. And, I was kind of thinking, okay, baby Yoda's going to save him, but everything kind of worked out or whatever. So, it is what it is. But kind of just going forward just a little bit more, when they were in the lava pit, in the lava river or whatever, it's unfortunate that IG had to die. Taika Waititi had to die. But I like the way it was written as far as his programming is concerned. He was like, look, my programming does not allow me to be captured. Okay, so I have to self-destruct. But my initial program that was rewired by Nick Nolte's character, Quill, and I really did love his character, was like, I have to protect the child. But if you tell me that the child will be protected, then that can boot me into my second programming of self-destructing and not being captured. Now, I thought that was very clever or whatever. It sucks he's not here because he was a force to be reckoned with. But, he blew him up so they can escape. And I do like everything with Gideon's, with him as well, in the TIE fighter or whatever coming through it. And and we finally get to see Pedro Pascal, Mando, the Mandalorian, with his jetpack. I thought that was dope as hell how he flew up, did the scorpion grappling hook, get over here to the ship and put the bomb on there and blew it up. That was a risky move, but it worked. It saved the day. And I was like, I hope that, he's not dead, Mr. Esposito. I hope he's not dead, and he wasn't. He came through with the dark saber and cut himself out. Now, I'm not going to lie and stunt like I know everything about the dark saber. The only reason I know about that is because I'm a subscriber to Charlie's YouTube channel, Emergency Awesome, and I've been watching his recaps as well. And I remember at the end of the episode 3 recap, he was talking about the history of the Mandalorian people, and he mentioned the dark saber, in that episode right there. So when it popped up, I was like, oh, that's the dark saber that Charlie was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so I know that may come from Rebels. I haven't seen Rebels. I've only seen the movies. I haven't seen Clone Wars. But I'm not really interested in Clone Wars. I'll probably get to it sometime, but I am interested in Rebels, and I believe that's where that came from. But it was a great episode, 7 and 8. I know I talked about more of 8 than 7. But it was still a great episode. I'm very, very happy with how this concluded. I can't wait for season 2. I hope everybody that was involved in season 1 do come back for season 2. I believe it's already been announced and all that good stuff. So I think it was a great episode. I mean, it was a great episode. It was a great season. The only thing is, if someone can let me know down in the comment section below, I guess Ming-Na Wing's character is really dead from episode 5. Also, who was the person that walked over the dead body, or the supposed dead body, at the end of episode 5? Someone let me know, or are we still going to have to wait? But guys, that is just my opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm at about 17.5K right now. Please help me get 20,000 subscribers. It would be great to have 20,000 subscribers in the new year, decade, in the year 2020. Also, guys, let me know what was your favorite part of the episode, and also if you have a favorite episode of the season, please let me know down below as well. Also, guys, please look me up on social media. We got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All that good stuff is right there at the bottom of your screen. I have links in the description box and in the pinned comments. All you got to do is just click on the link and then click on the follow button, and there you go. You're helping your boy out. At least help me get at least 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm almost there. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget to always chase your dreams, because I'm chasing mine. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.